the most out of your ski outing, watch the Skier's Forecast for current and forecast ski conditions at resorts nationwide. America's highways are full of unexpected beauty and natural wonders. But sometimes, nature offers more than just another roadside attraction. The Michelin Drivers Report takes a look at the weather along the nation's major interstates. Our meteorologists fill you in on current driving conditions and let you know what to expect in the days ahead. The Michelin Drivers Report, 54 minutes past the hour, every hour on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
Came to this country from everywhere else. And now, the airline that's uniting the world is ready to take you back. United. The airline whose service made it #1 across the Pacific. Takes you across the Atlantic to cities throughout Europe, including service to London's Heathrow. United to Europe. Come see what we're made of. Come fly the friendly skies.
Wait, check this, right? 3 million drivers switched to GEICO last year, yeah? I'm telling you this. Why? Well, because I want you to help spread the word. Bloke hears that number, he's quite impressed. He's like, 3 million? That's a lot of people. Why wasn't I invited? Then you're like, of course you're invited. So, he stops by geico.com and he gets his free rate quote. Okay, sure, alright, it's not a real party, it's a website, but at least now the fella's done his homework.
GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped, then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs. I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master.
I recommend it and use it.
The secret to shapely thighs is exercising these muscles with just the right resistance. This balanced resistance coil is designed to give you results quickly and comfortably. Want to tone your upper chest and arms? Thigh Master will give you excellent results. Thigh Master. We may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
To order your Thigh Master, call 1-800-854-9800. Have your credit card ready or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.50 for shipping and handling to this address. If you are not fully satisfied, return it in 30 days for your money back. Plus, if you call right now, we'll also send you Suzanne's Lender for Life plan absolutely free. Thigh Master is not available in stores, so act right now.
After that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Your
Plymouth Laser RS Turbo.
You can talk.
That's not all. 0 to 66.3. You like all-wheel drive?
Well, beautiful.
Don't try this at home.
Plymouth Laser, an intelligent machine.
Can we go for a spin?
Sure.
Your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, proud sponsors of the U.S. Men's and Women's Pro Ski Tour.
For well over a century, the finest sewing machines have carried the name Singer, but it hasn't been a name you could carry until now. Now everyone can carry the Singer Handy Stitch.
Handy Stitch is the most convenient sewing machine I've ever used, and it's a genuine Singer.
Just thread it in seconds and away you go. The durable chain stitch assures a clean, secure job every time. Nothing could be easier. There's no bobbin to wind, fuss with, or lose. Straight stitches, curved stitches, anything's a snap with Handy Stitch, and it goes anywhere you go. Complete with battery pack, 5 mini spools of thread, an extension spindle, and all these accessories. It's a genuine Singer for only $29.95. Order now.
Call toll-free 1-800-922-6300 or send $29.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to Singer Handy Stitch, 2 Morgan Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut, 06851.
If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. The more gas you use, the more carbon dioxide you put into the air. The more CO2 put in the air, the greater the threat of greenhouse warming. So improving fuel efficiency is a very direct way for you to help the environment. A car getting 27 miles a gallon releases a third less CO2 than a car getting 18 miles a gallon. You can buy cars getting as much as 55 miles a gallon. Other fuel-saving features are a low vehicle weight, a small engine, a manual transmission, and a low axle ratio. Efficient, properly inflated tires will help. So will regular tune-ups. A well-tuned vehicle uses 3 to 9% less gas, thus throwing off 3 to 9% fewer emissions. And how about just driving less? Combine trips, carpool, and use public transportation to cut your contribution to the CO2 problem. These Earth Answers from the Weather Channel.
The rain on the east continues to move northeast. The rain in the west continues to move inland. Coming up, we'll show you where it is now and where it's going.
There's something special about driving the Daihatsu from Japan. Whether it's the reliability, high mileage, and comfort of our affordable Daihatsu Charades, or the versatile performance of our rocking wide-track 4x4 with the widest track in its class, you'll feel like the whole town is going to light up and really take notice. It's how we make them. Daihatsu.
Daihatsu from Japan, makers of the Charade automobiles and Rocky 4x4.
This is ordinary bulk fiber. It's full of grit. This is new Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. The grit is gone because it's triple ground for smoothness. This is ordinary fiber. The grit is definitely not gone. This is new Sunrise Smooth Metamucil, the best mixing, smoothest tasting natural fiber you can buy. The grit is gone. New Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. For regularity, nothing works better. And the grit is gone.
What are these people doing? Why do they look so relaxed, so stress-free? They're experiencing Visage, the revolutionary new facial massage. Visage's gentle oscillating motion helps soothe tense, tired muscles in and around the eye region. Its concentrated action helps bring relief from tension caused by stress and eye strain. And as a beauty treatment, Visage stimulates the surface of the skin. Your face will feel alive and rejuvenated. Place the unit over your eyes, turn on the massage, then sit back and relax. At home or at the office, the visor helps block out light so you can enjoy an undisturbed and tranquil facial massage. Visage is only $24.95. Order now and you'll receive this free audio cassette recreating the calming sounds of the ocean. So call now and face the 90s with Visage.
To order Visage and get your free relaxation cassette, call toll-free 1-800-992-9400. Use your major credit card and call now. Ask about special savings when you order more than one. Call 1-800-992-9400.
Which car should I buy? Plymouth Acclaim. I need automatic. Plymouth Acclaim. Driver's airbag. Yes. A good warranty. You get a choice. Affordable. Less than $12,500. And air conditioning. At no charge. Plymouth Acclaim. Maybe Plymouth Acclaim. Nice idea.
Plymouth Acclaim, an intelligent machine.
Now get $500 cash back during our Drive for the Gold celebration.
Your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, proud sponsors of the U.S. Men's and Women's Pro Ski Tour.
And now, a tip for good health. Fiber. These days, people are trying to eat it in everything, from cereal to muffins to animal crackers. Fiber is the outer skin or husk of plant foods, grains, cereals, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans. After the body's digestive system has extracted the nutrients from food, the indigestible residue left over is fiber. Its job is to provide the bulk that helps to keep the body's digestive system ticking in an orderly fashion. But as we processed our foods, we removed fiber. Americans now consume only 10 to 20 grams of fiber daily. Nutritionists say we should get 30 to 40 grams for the best digestive health. You try to get the fiber you need from the foods you eat. But if you can't, try a fiber supplement. That may be just what you need to correct digestive tract problems and to keep that all-over healthy feeling.
Staying Healthy is sponsored by new Sunrise Smooth Medicine. Now the grit is gone.
Sore throats and colds are nothing new around here. Neither are the ways my people get rid of them. My dad gets a scratchy throat and he holds 2 yak horns over his head for 8 hours. Me? I take a Luden's throat drop. No problem. My uncle gets a nasty cough, nasal congestion. He throws 100 snowballs over his left shoulder. I take a Luden's Helps with menthol vapor relief. Hey, I can breathe.
Luden's, a legend that works. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Not long ago, the fellas over at the country club gave Ed Hansel a little party. You see, in over 40 years, Ed never missed a day at the club. Every afternoon, just after 3, like clockwork, there's Ed. A banker by trade, is a master at knowing just how to fill all that leisure time. Unfortunately, banker's hours may not be your hours when buying a car. So finance your new vehicle with GMAC right at your GM dealership. Nobody knows more about auto financing and leasing. And we don't keep banker's hours.
Everybody's different. Different looks, different tastes, different lifestyles. That's why Geo offers you a choice. Geo Metro, Geo Storm, Geo Prism, and Geo Tracker. So pick your favorite and get to know Geo. Right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
That's because there's more to come. We'll check on the international weather also right after this.
The Weather Channel brings you 2 1992 calendars. The 1992 Weather Guide calendar has beautiful photographs and is packed with phenomenal weather events for every day of the year. The 1992 Weather Wise and Wonders calendar has 366 pages of unusual weather facts and trivia. Either calendar can be yours for only $9.95 each, plus $3 shipping and handling per order. Call 1-800-845-8711 or send check or money order to Weather Calendars, P.O. Box 291, Arvada, Colorado 80002. Also available at Target stores nationwide. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.
Check weather.com from the Weather Channel, and you'll see it coming.
Bitter, but kind of like in the season, as you would expect, beginning of January.
You know, it's one of those days where you don't really want to run into problems out there in the roadways, because if you do, it's very cold out there and it can be rather dangerous.
And you may still be having some returns at the malls there. And to help guide you safely to the malls, here's Mr. Dennis Smith.
Chicago and Indianapolis are looking good with plenty of sunshine on tap for today. But you'll be seeing rain in some parts of the region. In fact, we are expecting to see the potential here for severe weather in parts of the upper Midwest later on this afternoon, especially affecting much of the state of Minnesota, extreme eastern South Dakota and northwestern Iowa. Right now, though, we do have thunderstorms that are rumbling through northern Minnesota at this time. Just to the south, we're seeing some thunderstorms south of International Falls and St. Cloud, Minneapolis. Expect to see some rough weather later on this afternoon. It's all due to a cold front, and this cold front has a pretty good history here of producing some high winds. Yesterday in Buffalo, South Dakota, winds gusted to 82 miles an hour, and throughout the Dakotas, there have been numerous reports of a standard of 80-mile-an-hour winds and also some large hail. When this storm system moves through Montana, in fact, reports of baseball-sized hail. So if you're especially in eastern Minnesota this afternoon, watch out for high winds and also for the potential of large hail. Around Chicago, though, you're going to stay high and dry. It'll be beautiful in Detroit, Indianapolis, St. Louis, but it'll be pretty warm as you head further to the south. But Chicago, this storm system will be affecting you by tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look here at the showers continuing to pull off towards the east. And in Minneapolis today, here's a look at your forecast. Expect to see the clouds continue to thicken up. Chance of showers and thunderstorms later on today. 88 your high temperature. Winds will be blowing out of the south at 15 miles an hour. So there's quite a bit of moisture to work with here in the Midwest. It'll be very muggy for you. Look at our dew point here in Fargo at 71. And a reminder, the dew point is the measure of the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere. And when dew points get into the upper 60s, it actually feels very sticky outside. Right now our air temperature is 73 in Minneapolis, 68 in Des Moines, 67 in Kansas City, and 64 in Indianapolis. Later on today, the red zone is going to hone in on Minneapolis and Fargo. Chicago, nice and sunny, and heat indices across the Midwest. Expect them to be warm, 95 in Sioux Falls and 94 in Des Moines. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie with more.
Well, Melissa, summer's unrelenting heat can be hard on everyone, especially young athletes. They're at risk when the mercury rises. We found one way, though, to keep sports participants safe on the practice and playing fields. The Weather Channel's Rich Johnson explains.
For most teenagers, early August means a little more sun and fun before school begins. But for a few, early August means one thing: football practice. However, playing football in extreme heat can be dangerous. Cobb County, Georgia is one of only a few school systems that have specific guidelines in place that deal with extracurricular activities and hot weather.
We felt that having the guidelines would give us a consistent set of criteria across the board that all the coaches could look at and follow.
The county has enlisted the help of advanced technology. Every high school is now required to use a digital psychrometer. Here's how it works. A digital psychrometer generates a wet bulb temperature that is based on variables like air temperature and humidity. That reading will dictate which precautions must be taken. If the wet bulb temperature is between 59 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, the players are given a 5-minute water break every 20 to 30 minutes. If the reading is between 73 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit, helmets are removed and water breaks are every 15 to 20 minutes. If the wet bulb temp is between 79 and 81 degrees, practice is shortened, pads are removed, and water breaks are every 10 to 15 minutes. Any reading of 82 degrees Fahrenheit or over, practice is canceled. The county's intentions are clear.
My main priority is to ensure a safe, competitive, and enjoyable atmosphere for all the student athletes that would like to participate.
For the Weather Channel, I'm Rich Johnson.
Well, the most active part of the hurricane season is just beginning. The first 2 months have been quiet, and experts have revised their numbers for the rest of the season. NOAA updated its hurricane forecast, and it's the same as Dr. William Gray's revision. The new forecast calls for 11 named storms, with 7 of them becoming hurricanes, and 3 of them growing into major hurricanes. That's 1 less in each category than the original forecast, which decreases the possibility of an overactive hurricane season this year.
We think there's going to be about a 60% chance that it will indeed be above average. We don't think that it will be significantly below average at all. The probabilities of that happening are not very high at all.
As you know, the first hurricane of the season, Alberto, has not been much of a factor. There have been some interesting weather features, though, that we're watching, and Dr. Steve Lyons will bring you the very latest in our tropical update at 50 minutes past the hour. We have some amazing pictures to show you from the newest generation of the weather satellite, the GOES 11. Scientists at NASA and NOAA released some of the first images from the new satellite this week. Just look at the clarity of these pictures. Researchers use quick scan images of rapidly developing weather events, such as supercell thunderstorms or hurricanes. This is just the testing phase, so these images cannot be used for forecasting yet. But when we can, this technology will make your forecasts more accurate. Now let's go to Melissa for more on the conditions in the south. And in the south, we're watching two main things. The first story is the showers and storms in Florida, and then in addition to that, we have the heat across the deep south. Notice here we do have the showers pushing on shore along Florida's west coast, and we're seeing copious amounts of rain here. In fact, there is a flash flood watch out that does include the Tampa Bay area. In fact, Tampa, you've received over an inch of rain within the past 24 hours. Take you in closer here. Actually, we're seeing some scattered showers here, but as you travel further to the north, that's where we're seeing the heaviest of the rain as you head up towards Ocala and also around Gainesville. Fort Myers is also reporting a thunderstorm at this time. Sarasota is seeing some wet weather. So travel here along I-75 will be touch and go throughout the rest of the day. As we head into North Florida here, Gainesville seeing a thunderstorm at this point in time. Tallahassee, you're dry. Pensacola, you're dry at this time, but it's mainly going to be Central and South Florida that it could easily see over an inch of rain. And one problem that we could see with some of these storms today is they may not move very quickly, and of course you know that that means that we could be seeing some localized flooding. So we do have our front, and this front is going to try to work its way slowly southward. Juicy air mass across Florida today, 74 right now in Orlando. We have 68, much drier air, more refreshing in Atlanta, and it's going to be another hot day in Dallas, Texas, where it's currently 81 with a dew point of 68. It's going to be very steamy here along the Sunshine State and in New Orleans. Later on today, 89, more comfortable in Atlanta for you. Lots of sunshine in Memphis at 92, hot in Dallas, Texas, where you do have a heat advisory in effect for today at 106, and 88 in Tampa. Heat advisories and heat indices are expected to be in the triple digits once again across the south, especially in Oklahoma City and also around Houston, where it's going to feel like it's 106 degrees.
Ooh, wear lightweight, light color clothing in those areas today.
Right.
It's going to be a scorch.
And be sure to check on the elderly and make sure that your air conditioner is working appropriately. Stick around. TravelWise is coming up next.
This program was sponsored by LaurasHealth.com, your reliable health information resource.
Every day is filled with questions for your doctor. Where do you go for information? LaurasHealth.com. Created by doctors and hospitals, it's a way to be better informed, so you can ask better questions and together with your doctor, make better health decisions. Log on to LaurasHealth.com today and ask better questions.
LaurasHealth.com is brought to you by leading doctors and hospitals across the country.
This is the PC that gets through homework at the speed of an Intel Pentium 3 processor that powers the ideas that come to life on a bright, vivid monitor and print out in full color. This is the compact Presario 5000T with one-touch internet access that for just $8.99 lets your family see the whole world wider. Call toll-free 1-877-803-9278 and add a compact IJ300 color printer for $1.
Right now, it's time for your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Currently in your area.
Isolated severe storms in parts of Florida. Both locations, though, right now are fairly active. Fortunately, no severe thunderstorm warnings at this point in time, but we do expect severe thunderstorms to develop later on this afternoon. Stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have a look across the country in Weather Center. Today, a messy some rain in some parts of the Midwest later on this afternoon. In fact, severe weather is a potential later on today throughout much of Minnesota and throughout parts of eastern South Dakota and northwestern Iowa. And we could be seeing damaging winds as well as some very large hail. Already, this storm system has produced some very strong winds. In fact, Minot did see winds gusting to 94 miles an hour. That's hurricane-force winds. So later on this afternoon, we'll start to see the atmosphere bubble up here, and we do have the potential here for severe weather, especially around Minneapolis and to the east of St. Cloud. This area here looks pretty prime for severe weather later on this afternoon. Right now, though, we're seeing some scattered showers and some thunderstorms here affecting a small portion of I-94. The bulk of the rain is currently to the north of the Minneapolis and Duluth area, affecting International Falls along the U.S.-Canadian border. Now, here's our frontal system, and it's going to continue to trek its way to the east. And in Minneapolis today, later on this afternoon, do expect to see a chance of some thunderstorms, and they may be strong at times. Temperature around 88 degrees. The winds will be picking up out of the south. It'll be breezy for you. Generally 15 miles an hour, and don't be surprised if winds gust as high as 20 miles an hour later on this afternoon. By this evening, though, we'll be seeing our front knocking on your door, and it'll continue to move its way eastward. Chicago, today you're going to stay under high pressure. Gorgeous day for you. Same thing in St. Louis. Rockford, you'll be okay too, but this front will be coming towards you by tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon, when you'll be seeing your chance for showers and thunderstorms. So right now we're seeing plenty of sunshine throughout Iowa, Minnesota, or actually Minnesota, we're seeing southern Minnesota, we're seeing some sunshine, and throughout parts of Missouri and central Illinois dealing with some early morning fog, but that will continue to burn off. We do have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. It's going to make it feel very sticky, especially in central Iowa, Missouri, and eastern Nebraska and throughout Minnesota today. It's going to be a very sticky, muggy afternoon. Temperatures starting out at 75 in Fargo, 73 for you in Minneapolis. We have 73 in Lincoln, 67 in Kansas City. Nice morning, though, in Indianapolis at 64. A couple degrees cooler in Detroit. Later on today, Detroit, Louisville, also St. Louis, expect to see lots of sunshine. Hot in Kansas City, Minneapolis 88, and later on today it'll feel like 92. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie with more. Are the western wildfires likely to go out soon? Well, to answer that question, you have to understand why they're burning in the first place. The Weather Channel's Dave Schwartz takes a look at the present and future of the wildfires.
In the western United States, why do so many of these turn into so many of these? It's due to extremely dry conditions coupled with dry thunderstorms. This NOAA map shows just how dry states like Idaho and Montana are. The bone-dry soil and timber is just the fuel a forest fire needs. But a fire still needs a spark. So enter the dry thunderstorm. These occur when thunderstorms move over an area of very dry air. The rain evaporates before it hits the ground. The lightning sparks a fire, and the winds help the fire grow. But just how bad are the fires now?
Well, we currently have 60 large fires burning in 10 western states, and you know, again, as a comparison with our 10-year average, we're about double. The outlook weather-wise is not that great, so we're kind of in for the long haul on this one.
But is there any relief in sight?
Now, one possible way that the West could see relief is if a very strong Pacific storm worked its way into the interior Northwest and sort of beat down the ridge that's been across that area for most of the summer. However, that is very unlikely at this point.
Unfortunately for now, we will see more and more forest land burn. For the Weather Channel, I'm Dave Schwartz.
The National Hurricane Center announced this week new ways of getting information to you. Starting next month, within 12 hours of a storm making landfall, they'll be giving us, the media, more detailed and more graphic information about where storm surges will be. They'll also be giving out more detailed information about how much rainfall will affect a particular area.
We'll try to get that information out, of course, before the rain actually starts, so they'll have an idea. Okay, I'm going to have 2 feet of water in my neighborhood. I need to bring stuff up and move my car out of the area and stuff like that.
The focus will be on telling you as early as possible which roads, buildings, and agricultural areas will be flooded and how severe that flooding will be. For the very latest on the hurricane situation, stay tuned. Dr. Steve Lyons is standing by. He'll be coming up shortly. Now we'll go to Melissa for more on the southeast. Melissa? And across the south, there's 2 main weather stories that we're dealing with here, and that, of course, is the rain in Florida and also the heat throughout the south central U.S. Starting out in Florida here, notice the rain is just starting to move in, and overall this trend is going to continue throughout the rest of the day. Gainesville seeing some heavy downpours, as well as Tampa. Tampa, you saw some very heavy rain earlier on in the morning and expect it to continue later on today. In fact, you are under a flash flood watch. This is definitely not a good beach day, but for those of you in the Tampa area towards Gainesville, you could stand to see some more rain because of the drought that you have been seeing in Florida. Around Tampa right now, the airport has been reporting everything is dry right now, but there's still some sprinkles in the vicinity, and more rain is currently offshore coming in towards you in Clearwater and also around St. Pete. So I-75 here from time to time, expected to be wet. Use those windshield wipers if you're driving down through Georgia and heading into Florida, maybe possibly going over towards Orlando to start your vacation to go see Mickey Mouse. Expected to be pretty soggy drive. In fact, with the heavy rain that's going to be coming down, it'll definitely slow traffic. And of course, if you're going, maybe you're sitting in your hotel room this morning and you're going to see Mickey Mouse later on today, grab the umbrella just so you have it in case
or at least grab, you know, a rain jacket or something before you head out the door, because you can see that the rain is very heavy, especially around Ocala. Lots of lightning strikes in the vicinity, so today is just going to be a soggy one across central Florida. So we head further to the north here. You can see Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Pensacola. You're dry at this time, and travel here along I-10 looks okay, but it's mainly along I-75 where we're seeing the problems. We do have a frontal boundary here across South Georgia, and it's going to be pushing its way southward into some very juicy air. To the north of it, though, in Atlanta and also Birmingham, you're seeing some relief from the humidity, and that's some great news. Temperatures this morning have dropped off into the middle 60s. Dallas, though, you're at 81. You're going to expect to see another hot day for you. And as we see the dew points here, notice here you can see where our frontal boundary is across the south. South of the front, we're seeing dew points in the 70s where it's very sticky. To the north of it, big difference. Dew points are in the 60s, so it feels much drier. Later on today in Memphis, expect to see 92 degrees, and Atlanta, let's take a look here at a hour-by-hour forecast practically here for you. At noon, expected to be 83, 88 at 3 o'clock, and of course 5 o'clock it'll be the warmest at 89 degrees. And later on today, expect to see the heat indices going up, not quite as intense in Atlanta at 88. We'll be seeing the most intense heat to the west of us. Over in Dallas, you'll be seeing 106 this afternoon. Same thing in Houston. So be careful here if you're in this vicinity. Be sure that you drink plenty of water because of the dangerous heat indices. That's a look at the south. Now here's Marnie with more.
Well, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll take a look at travel conditions across the country. But as we leave you, we want to show you a close-up shot of a radar that gives you an idea of what we have going around the country. And one specific area, Melissa, is the Northeast, where it's been raining and it's a messy start this morning.
It certainly is. In fact, we have been seeing major problems with flooding throughout parts of New York State. In fact, Suffolk County, also Rockland County, Bronx County, we've had numerous reports of roads that have been closed because of high water, and the rain's been coming down fast and furious. Bridgeport, Connecticut, record daily rainfall yesterday of over 3 inches of rain, and of course the rain hasn't stopped yet.
And so check in with us before you leave this morning, and we'll have all the very latest radars throughout the morning.
Otherwise, coming up next is a look at your weekly planner, and we'll have a look at the next 7 days.
Stay tuned, we'll be back.
When a weather disaster strikes, someone is always...
My lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine. It grills delicious food in a healthy way fast. And now I've teamed up with the folks at Sears to make my grills better than ever. We've added this unique, handy warming lid, so preparing tasty meals is even easier.
George Foreman's grill cooks from both sides at once, cutting most cooking times in half. The slanted grill channels fat and grease away from food. The floating hinge lets me grill evenly. Seared outside, moist and flavorful inside. Meanwhile, the lid warms rolls, buns, biscuits, tortillas, even pita bread. And the double-coated non-stick surface makes cleanup a breeze.
I'm so proud of it, I put my name on it. And because it's from Sears, you know your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back.
Sears, the good life.
So in Hilo, where it's currently out of the southwest at 6 miles an hour. Taking up north here towards Alaska, and in fact we're seeing some light rain in 52 degrees in Fairbanks, also some light rain in Bettles where it's currently 43. Cool in Barrow at 31 this morning, and we have 53 degrees in Juneau. Wind chill is currently 16 in Barrow, 39 in Bettles, and today around Anchorage do expect to see plenty of sunshine. Generally you're looking at about 16 hours of daylight. That's down about 5 minutes compared to yesterday, and temperatures are expected to be actually pretty close to normal, generally in the lower to middle 60s. We'll be right back.
Oh no, that new carpet is ruined. Uh-oh, that stain will...
Half of the country, also into parts of New England, we're seeing almost a moderate tree pollen count here, while the rest of the country is generally seeing low tree pollen count. Grasses, are you allergic to grasses? Well, right here we go right to the nation's midsection where you see a big bullseye here pretty close to the Kansas City area. And also in the Pacific Northwest, we're seeing a few pockets here of higher grass pollen versus the rest of the country. Heat indices are the strongest here across the South Central Plains and the desert Southwest. So be sure to drink plenty of water if you're going to be outside and wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. Now here's Marnie with a look at your forecast.
Well, the outlook in the northeast is not very good. We have an area of low pressure that's still spinning here, and by the early evening hours and even tomorrow morning, more rain as the area of low pressure drops off the coast and then starts to head up the coast. Dry across the southeast. This is where you need the rain, certainly. We'll watch out for more storms ahead of the cold front tomorrow morning. Best chances for rain. Grab your umbrellas here. Flooding is occurring at this hour. Also in Florida, a very soggy Saturday. We'll be right back.
With American Blind and Wallpaper Factory, I paid about half of what the department stores wanted to charge me.
We guarantee the absolute lowest prices. Hi, my name is Stephen Katzman, and I'm the president of American Blind and Wallpaper Factory.
And we're helping you prepare. Keeping you ahead of the storm is what matters to us.
That's why the Weather Channel is here.
The streets of New Jersey looked more like streams yesterday. Thunderstorms moved through the area with some locations picking up more than 2 inches of rain in just an hour.
And you can expect more rain in the northeast as thunderstorms move through the region again today. You'll see scattered storms in the Midwest. Well, it will remain hot and muggy in the southern plains. Weather Center is just ahead. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by Mitsubishi. I'm Melissa Barrington.
And I'm Marnie Stanier. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. A nice day for most of the country, but get ready for a wet one today in the northeast. A band of moderate to heavy rain is expected in Philadelphia. Heavy rain hit Hartford overnight, and heavy rain has already hit New York this morning. Points southward should also expect some showers. And in the upper Midwest, you might even see a few strong storms in Minneapolis as this Saturday wears on. So the picture in the northeast is a dreary one, I'm afraid. You've had a cool summer. You've had plenty of rain. You'd like some warm weather. You'd like some dry weather. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. We have an area of low pressure that's spinning over this region. You can see a swirl in the clouds here in the rain. That's where the low is, and the low is not going to budge very quickly. It's going to drift to the south and then move up the coast. So generally it's going to be with you for the next 24 to 48 hours. And it is producing a lot of rain. We're talking about torrential downpours and a lot of flooding. Some lightning strikes are occurring, but for the most part, this is a rain event with a lot of flooding. Sullivan County, right here where you see the yellow on the map, you're under a warning now for some flooding. Sullivan County, flooding is occurring at this hour because of all the torrential downpours. Monmouth County also, you're under warnings now for flooding. You've had torrential downpours, 2 to 3, possibly even 4 inches of rain just this morning. So the roads are covered with water. The rivers and streams are filling up very, very rapidly. It's a dangerous situation. You don't want to cross any roadways that are covered with water because it is a mess out there. A lot of very heavy rain coming down. Airport delays at Newark and LaGuardia, so check with your air carriers. Check out these totals. Over 4 inches Bridgeport and around Darien and Stamford. Bennington over an inch, almost 2 inches. So an awful lot of rain on this Saturday morning. We have flash flood watches in effect, but remember, in some areas here, you're also under warnings for flooding. That means it's actually flooding. It's occurring now. Flooding is imminent. 67 is the current temperature right now out of the New York City metro area. As a matter of fact, we'll take you there, I believe, and we'll show you what the temperatures look like as the day wears on. 73 is the expected high, and that's a lot lower than normal for this time of the year. Northeast winds all day, but cool, rainy, kind of blah out there. Let's check it out. Most locations only in the 70s with rain. So certainly if you head out, grab your umbrella. Melissa?
Well, in the Midwest, Chicago and Indianapolis are looking pretty good with plenty of sunshine in store for you today. But you'll be seeing some rain in parts of the Midwest later on this afternoon. Not only just rain, but severe weather is possible throughout Minnesota and extreme northwestern Wisconsin and northwestern Iowa later on this afternoon. We could be seeing some gusty winds as well as some large hail. But this storm system has had a history of producing 80 miles an hour or more with some of these thunderstorms. And, of course, that's hurricane force. Minot, North Dakota did see winds gusting to 94 miles an hour. Right now, none of the storms are severe, but they're still moving through parts of northern Minnesota. A few showers and a few embedded thunderstorms here. Minneapolis, you're still starting out your morning dry, but later on this afternoon, this front will continue to slide its way towards the southeast and head straight into your path and produce the potential for strong storms. High pressure, though, across the Great Lakes, bringing in some beautiful weather here for Lake Michigan and also around Lake Erie. Detroit Cleveland, Chicago, and St. Louis all expecting to see some pretty nice weather. But today in Minneapolis, you're going to be seeing the stormiest of the weather. A lot of clouds around, and later on this afternoon, high temperature of 88 degrees. The winds will be blowing out of the south around 10 to 20 miles an hour, an average of about 15 throughout later on this afternoon. By this evening, the front starts to push into extreme southeastern Minnesota, Chicago. This front will be affecting you by tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon hours, bringing in a chance of storms. So right now, showers and thunderstorms continuing to rumble here throughout parts of Minnesota. In Iowa, right now you're dry, but do expect to see some showers and thunderstorms develop. We have a lot of moisture that's in place here. It feels very sticky as soon as you step out the door. Dew points are running in the 60s and 70s. Temperatures, though, are pretty close to the same as the dew points. 74 in Sioux Falls as well as Minneapolis, 70 in Chicago. We have been seeing some patchy areas of fog around Peoria and Bloomington, Illinois, as well as Kirksville, Missouri. Later on this afternoon, though, expect to see a lot of sunshine in St. Louis, Kansas City, Green Bay, and also around Louisville, high of 83. But Minneapolis, chance of storms and high heat indices into the 90s. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie with more.
Are the western wildfires likely to go out soon? Well, to answer that question, you have to understand why they're for the tropical update. Well, the western wildfires have grown so large that you can see the flames from a weather satellite that uses the newest technology. These are images from the new GOES 11 satellite, which is undergoing testing. With previous satellites, you could only see smoke from the wildfires. Now you can actually see flames, those orange spots in Idaho. Coming up in just a minute that you'll see, some of the orange spots that you'll see on the maps are actually flare-ups of fires that are burning across the south. Now we'll go to more with Melissa on what's going on in the south.
And across the south, we are dealing with severe, actually, marine warnings here that are ongoing at this time for Taylor and Dixie County. We have had reports here of waterspouts that have been reported near Keaton Beach. So if you're in this vicinity, please be on the lookout here for the potential for more waterspouts to develop. Our marine warning is in effect until 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Notice here throughout Florida, it's definitely not living up to its name today. It's not the Sunshine State. We're seeing a lot of rain. Notice here, though, as you travel just to the north, as you get to the Georgia-Florida border here, we're looking at actually clear skies for Albany and Savannah. It's because we do have a front that's going to be sagging its way southward across Florida today and bringing in rain. In fact, the rain may be so heavy at times that we do have flash flood watches that are in effect from Gainesville south towards Tampa Bay. Tampa, you've picked up over an inch of rain in 24 hours, and more is expected to develop. Right now, offshore, there are some bands here, some heavier downpours, and they'll continue to move onshore here throughout the morning. So you've seen some scattered showers. They'll be on and off throughout the day. Headed further to the north, though, a very steady rain here along I-75 around Ocala. We're seeing some heavy downpours, and we'll be seeing some thunderstorms produce some even heavier amounts of rain later on today. If you travel to the north, though, Jacksonville and Tallahassee, you're dry, but you can see almost where the cutoff is here throughout northern Florida, where our front is, and our front will continue to sag to the south. South of the front, very juicy air. To the north of it, though, some much-needed relief. Our dew points are dropping, and as they do so, what does that mean to you as soon as you step outside? You'll notice that there isn't as much moisture in the atmosphere. It feels dry, and it actually feels a little bit more comfortable. Right now, we have 72 in Atlanta, 70 degrees in Nashville, and we have 80 degrees in New Orleans. In New Orleans, it'll be somewhat sticky for you, and in Miami, it's currently 83 degrees, and it'll be another hot day for you in Dallas, Texas, and in Orlando. 77 right now, but later on today, do expect to see showers and thunderstorms developing. So grab that umbrella, keep it with you just in case, with the chance of those thunderstorms. High for today around 90 degrees. Now remember, I mentioned those dew points. Very obvious here when you look at the dew point map. You see where our front is to the south. Dew points are in the 70s, very sticky. To the north, though, it's definitely more comfortable, where the dew points are in the lower 60s in Birmingham and also around Nashville. Later on today, though, even with those low dew points, it'll be hot in Memphis. Sunny skies, 92, hot in Tulsa at 100 in full sunshine, while in the Sunshine State, expect to see rain, and we could be seeing a couple of inches of rain within some of those thunderstorms across central Florida later on today. Heat indices will be dangerous in Houston, Dallas, and Oklahoma City, where it'll feel like 106. Ouch.
Hot weather there, but flooding in New Jersey, Monmouth County. Please drive carefully out there.
A lot of problems with that. Coming up next, though, we'll tell you more about your travel conditions, and flooding will be a problem.
That's right. We'll have more on that coming up in a minute.
This program was sponsored by Mitsubishi Motors, the new 2000 Montero Sport. Wake up and drive.
East, and also the potential here for severe weather in the upper Midwest, but around New York City and Sussex County and also around Monmouth County, we're seeing some pretty big problems here with flooding. In fact, it's serious. There's many roads that are closed due to the heavy rain that has come down in a very short amount of time. We also have special marine warnings for Taylor and Dixie County in Florida. Waterspouts have been sighted offshore. Be sure to stay with us. Coming up next, Kelly Cass and Bill Keneally and Weather Center.
Do you dread washing your car? The soap and the rubbing and scrubbing and reaching?
The streets of New Jersey looked more like streams yesterday. Thunderstorms moved through the area, with some locations picking up as much as 2 inches of rain in just an hour.
And you can expect more rain in the Northeast as thunderstorms move through the region once again today. You'll see scattered storms in the Midwest, while it will remain hot and muggy in the southern plains. Good morning and welcome to Weather Centers. I'm Melissa Barrington. Thanks for joining us.
This is sponsored by Loris.com. I'm Marnie Stanier. Thanks so much for joining us. And it is a messy day in the Northeast. We have a new flash flood warning, and I haven't seen this very often. Severe flash flood warning in New Jersey. We'll tell you about it in just a minute. We are scrolling it on your screen. Get ready, though, in the Northeast for a band of heavy...
Quick Open is going on in Grand Blanc, Michigan, which is just southeast of Flint. Now, the weather shouldn't have much effect on the golfers, as temperatures are expected to reach around 80 degrees later on this afternoon, accompanied by lots of sunshine and winds coming out of the northeast about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Right now in Flint, we currently do have 72 degrees and an abundance of sunshine. As you'll notice here across Michigan, there's hardly a cloud in the sky this morning. It is just beautiful. And also clear skies through Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri. Now, Iowa, we're starting to see some showers starting to enter into the extreme northwestern corner of the state. And as we look up into Minnesota, that's where most of the action is right now, and that's where we'll hone in on later on this afternoon. Here's a look at the current map. We have high pressure across the Great Lakes, bringing in just gorgeous conditions. In fact, in Detroit, check out this morning. It's just beautiful to go outside for a walk. If you're just waking up, you might want to go outside and walk the dog, or at least spend part of your day outside. Expect to see mostly sunny skies and temperatures around 80 degrees. You know what? If you enjoyed yesterday, you'll love today, because yesterday you saw a high of 80, and this is about normal for you for this time of the year. Now, if you're in Minneapolis, you're going to have to keep your eye to the sky for later on this afternoon. We do have this cold front that's marching its way eastward, and it's got enough moisture with it. We could be seeing some strong to severe storms later on this evening from Minneapolis southward just to the northwest of the Des Moines area. Right now, we currently have 76 in Minneapolis, very juicy air that's in place. It's very sticky outside. 73 in Des Moines, 75 in Kansas City, and in Detroit, you're at 71. We have 69 in Alpena, as well as in Columbus, Ohio. Later on this afternoon, expect to see wall-to-wall sunshine in the Windy City in St. Louis and Louisville. Kansas City, you'll be pretty warm. Muggy conditions, 93 degrees, but in Minneapolis, be sure to watch out for damaging winds and the potential for large hail. That's what we're really going to look at for later on this afternoon. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie with more.
Summer's unrelenting heat can be hard on everyone, especially young athletes. They're quite at risk when the mercury rises. We found one way to keep sports participants safe on the practice and playing field. The Weather Channel's Rich Johnson. Well, if you're planning on heading out to some of the beaches in Florida today, Melissa is on standby with an update of what you can expect. Melissa?
Well, we've been seeing some problems here across much of Florida today. You can see that there's quite a bit of lightning activity already this morning. And as we move in closer, show you what's underneath those clouds here. Numerous showers and thunderstorms are currently across the Sunshine State, especially on the western shorelines here. Tampa, you are actually under a flash flood watch. You've seen over an inch of rain within the past 24 hours. We do have flash flood watches not only just for the Tampa area, but also Sarasota County. You're also under one, as well as Citrus County. So we're going to be looking at copious amounts of rain that are going to continue to fall here in Florida. And one of the problems that we're going to be seeing is that the winds are blowing out of the west, and these storms here are generally going to be moving only at 10 to 20 miles an hour. In some locations, we'll be seeing the storms roll over their same locations over and over and over again. So the potential is here for as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain in some locations. That's a lot of water, 4 to 6 inches. That's a half a foot. That will, of course, induce more flooding problems. So that's why the National Weather Service has issued flash flood watches, and that does include Pinellas County, Manatee County, as well as Pasco, Citrus County, as well as Sarasota, Lee County, and Charlotte. And if I missed your county, be sure to check out the bottom of your screen for the latest. But that's a bulk of them. But there's numerous watches in effect, and we do have this front. It's going to slowly try to work its way southward. Very juicy air across Florida. To the north of it, though, much drier air. You'll definitely feel a difference outside. 76 comfortable in Birmingham as well as Atlanta, 79 in Columbia. It's going to be another hot day for you in Dallas, Texas, and Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, you're currently at 80 degrees. Dew points are running high from Oklahoma City, Dallas, and then right along the Gulf Coast and throughout Florida. Notice here the dew point in Atlanta is only 59. So it feels comfortable to you. So as you travel to the south, that's where we run into our front. And with the frontal boundary heading into this juicy air, we are expecting to see showers and thunderstorms develop throughout Florida later on today. Could be heavy amounts of rain. Like I said, some locations picking up just way too much rain. 92 in Memphis in full sunshine, 106 in Dallas, Texas. And then you factor in how it's going to feel to you outside. It's going to feel like 108 in Dallas, 106 in Houston, but a comfortable 88 in Atlanta. That's a look at the south. Now here's Marnie with a look at the west.
Well, Melissa, we have a few showers showing up on our weather map in the southwest. Some monsoonal moisture flowing into the Four Corners. Not a strong monsoonal flow, but enough to pump in here with some lighter rain showers. Clouds from Colorado all the way down through parts of Arizona and New Mexico, but quiet weather for most of California. Albuquerque looking fine. To the west, though, we find some showers. And cooler to the northwest. Burns, Oregon this morning, a record low temperature in the 30s, so a chilly morning here with temperatures now in the 50s. We're looking at 81 Vegas, 66 in LA, and 70 in Rapid City. Check out the expected highs across this region. 102 in Phoenix, and showers off and on possible in parts of Arizona. And then we're looking at 77 in Portland and 80 in San Francisco. So that's a look at the western expected conditions as the day goes on. And we want to leave you with a shot from New York City. This is if you look over northern New Jersey, you're specifically looking at an orange dot right over Sussex and Morris counties, and we do have reports of 5 and 6 inches of rain. Serious flooding occurring, Melissa.
That's right, and already some of the problems with the flooding, with that kind of amount of rain coming down in such a fast period of time. Yesterday in Bridgeport, there were even reports of the water rising as high as car windows. So that's the type of water that we are looking at here with the potential for later on today. Could be a very serious situation.
So stay tuned to us for more. We'll continue to watch the situation as the morning rolls along, and we'll let you know about the latest rainfall totals. And if any new warnings come in, we'll let you know right away.
That's right. Otherwise, stay tuned. Your local forecast is coming up next, followed by the week ahead.
When pliers won't grip, ratchets won't click, and wrenches won't fit, you just have to quit. No, what?
Welcome back. It's now 24 minutes past the hour. I'm Melissa Barrington alongside Marnie Stanier. And coming up here, we're going to take a look at conditions here in the Northeast where we've been seeing major problems with flooding. Go ahead and take a look at our current surface map, and you'll see an area of low pressure that is currently offshore. And what we're seeing here in New York State is an upper level low that's spinning and it's producing copious amounts of rain, almost unimaginable amounts of rain here. Then to the south, we're also seeing some heavy rain throughout parts of Florida, and severe weather is possible in the Midwest. Starting out in the Northeast here, we are seeing problems in Sussex and Morris County, right along the county border, where as much as 5 to 6 inches of rain has already occurred. And you can see here with that bullseye, notice that the storms aren't moving at all, and because of that, flash flood watches are in effect, but we also do have warnings that are currently for this region, so be sure to check the bottom of your screen for the latest warnings in your neighborhood. Across the south, we're seeing a lot of rain also throughout parts of Florida. We could be seeing several inches of rain here too, and also reports of large clouds just offshore of Dixie and Taylor County. In the Midwest, severe weather is a possibility here for you, and we are expecting to see it break out later on this afternoon, and we do have potential here for gusty winds as well as some heavy downpours. Let's look across the country now. Here's Marnie to look at your forecast. Well, Melissa will continue to monitor the flooding situation in the Northeast. That, again, she just showed you that's welcome back.
Muggy in the southern plains. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Melissa Barrington.
And I'm Marnie Stanier. Thanks for joining us. Looks like a rotten day, unfortunately, in the Northeast.
Rotten is a good word for it.
Perfect way to describe it. We'll get ready for the wet one today in the Northeast. A band of moderate to heavy rain continues to move through the area. In Philadelphia, they expect rain. Also Hartford, where they were hard hit overnight, more rain possible. Heavy rain is also in the New York area at this hour. New York
going on this weekend, so let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast. The Buick Open is going on in Grand Lake, Michigan, which is just southeast of Flint. The weather shouldn't have much effect on the golfers as temperatures should reach into the 80s, accompanied by sunshine, and right now the wind is currently out of the north at 5 miles an hour with a current temperature of 72 degrees, so it's a pretty nice start in Flint, Michigan this morning, and we are seeing actually lots of sunshine here across Michigan, throughout Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and also throughout much of Missouri. But as you travel to the north, that's where we're looking at some shower activity right now, and we'll be seeing some showers and thunderstorms develop later on this afternoon. That's in advance of our cold front that will be swinging eastward. It will affect you in Minneapolis, especially later on this afternoon. But if you're in Chicago, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, or Detroit, high pressure and control, just a beautiful day. In fact, in Detroit, check it out. It is just beautiful for an early morning walk this morning. If you're going outside, maybe take your dog for a walk. Expect the rest of the day to see mostly sunny skies, and temperatures for you will top out right around 80 degrees. And if you liked yesterday, you'll just love today, because yesterday you saw a high of 80, and this is where you should be for this time of the year. And overall, just a beautiful day to be out and about. So high pressure continues to hang on for Detroit later on this afternoon, as well as Columbus and also around Lexington. But here comes our front that'll be sliding towards the southeast. Right now we currently have 75 in Detroit, 73 in Indianapolis, 77 in St. Louis, and 76 in Des Moines. Notice here Lincoln, Nebraska is already up to 85 degrees. Later on this afternoon, Minneapolis and Fargo, you could be seeing a chance here for some showers and thunderstorms. Right now we are seeing some lightning strikes here across northern Minnesota and extreme northern Wisconsin. The rain, it's starting to wind down right now, but we do have enough moisture that's in place, and we have our triggering mechanism being our front, and we could be seeing severe weather break out, especially around the Minneapolis area later on this afternoon and this evening. Chicago, the storm system will be headed towards you by tomorrow morning. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie. And heat indices even higher. Here's Melissa with more. And also across the south, not only are we dealing with heat, but also thunderstorm activity throughout parts of central Florida. In fact, you can see here there are numerous lightning strikes here going on, and they will just continue to intensify later on this afternoon. We do have quite a bit of shower activity, especially on the west coast of Florida. In fact, in Hillsborough and Pasco County, we've already seen reports of power lines down due to some gusty winds within some of these thunderstorms. Around the Tampa Bay area, we have been seeing some heavy downpours here, and we'll continue to see more heavy rain throughout the rest of the day. The storms here that will continue to develop are expected generally to move only 10 to 20 miles an hour, and some locations could be seeing more than one thunderstorm today. So because of that, you know that you could be seeing heavy amounts of rain. What's heavy? Anywhere between 4 and 6 inches is possible, and a few localized areas because of the thunderstorm activity. Of course, that could induce flooding. So because of that, we do have a flash flood watch that is in effect, and that does include the Tampa Bay area, as well as Sarasota County, Citrus County, Pinellas County, as well as Manatee County. And there are numerous other counties included. That's just a handful of them. Be sure to check out the bottom of your screen to see if you're in the flash flood watch for today. And we have already seen heavy amounts of rain, and the reason is that we have this front that's sagging southward. You're in a very juicy air mass here across Florida, and with the front sagging to the south, it's giving us a triggering mechanism for some showers and thunderstorms to develop. We've also been seeing reports of waterspouts just offshore, so around Taylor and Dixie County, so watch out for that too. To the north of the frontal boundary, though, much drier air is punching in. In fact, much better conditions around Birmingham and Nashville. Right now, Nashville is at 77. Oklahoma City is at 83. It'll be hot for you, and hot in Dallas, where it's currently 88. Dew points are running much lower to the north of the front. South of the front, though, it's very sticky. Today, lots of sunshine in Memphis, but hot at 92. 106 in Dallas and 99 in Houston. Heat indices in Oklahoma City, Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, and Little Rock and New Orleans expected to be 100 or higher. Now let's go westward with Marnie.
Well, it was a cool start this morning in parts of Oregon. Temperatures around Burns, Oregon in the 30s this morning, record low temperatures. So a cool start here, but a hot day for most of the southwest today. A little bit of light rain showing up on our radar satellite composite over eastern Arizona, but rain-free from Washington all the way through Oregon into northern California. A closer look will show a few sprinkles showing up between Phoenix and Flagstaff, also just north of Tucson, a few showers in the picture. Of course, we don't need any lightning strikes. That is what is one of the problems with all the wildfires burning out in the west. That's one of the reasons they're being started. The southwest Temperatures are currently in the upper 80s. We're looking for a lot of 90s and 100s here. Cool, though, in the Pacific Northwest with 50s and 60s currently. So again, hot in the southwest, temperatures up over 100 in Phoenix, but very pleasant around Seattle and Portland. Temperature in Seattle today about 72, Portland 77, so it looks very comfortable. Very nice. There's the national radar composite put back together to give you an idea of where we have the most active weather at this hour. And we want to take you into the northeast briefly and show you a close-up radar from northern New Jersey that Cell and Morris and Sussex counties right along the border there of those two counties. The cell is not moving, Melissa, and we have had reports of 5 to 6 inches of rain.
Right, and that's why if you're going to be out traveling in the area, don't be surprised if you do see signs on the roadways that say road closed due to high water, and that's because of just the rain just coming down in buckets. It's causing water to cover. Weather is possible in the Midwest today, but some of you woke up to just beautiful conditions. In fact, it was a gorgeous morning in Detroit, making perfect weather for taking a walk or walking your dog. And for the rest of the day, expect to see plenty of sunshine. Temperatures will be rising into the lower 80s. Basically, it's a repeat of what you saw on Friday. Today, though, severe weather is possible across the upper Midwest, especially throughout Minnesota and extreme northwestern Wisconsin later on today. Right now, we are seeing that there are some storms here in northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan, and some storms moving over Lake Superior. We have been seeing this band of showers pretty much weaken so far during the morning hours, and what's going to happen here is with some daytime heating, we do have a front that's continuing to slide towards the southeast. We're going to be seeing enough energy here and the ingredients to come together for severe weather to develop, especially around the Minneapolis area later on this afternoon. Right now, Minneapolis, there's a couple of showers on the north side of town, but overall, you're not seeing a lot of rain. Unlike to the north of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and also close to Rhinelander, we're starting to see a line here starting to develop, and it's starting to intensify now. So overall, we first saw this whole area decrease in intensity, and we're starting to see this redevelop here in northern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now, 74 in Green Bay. We have 74 in Columbus, Ohio, 79 in St. Louis. And as you travel further to the west, though, the heat is on. We're seeing it warm up quickly. 89 currently in Lincoln, Nebraska, and 82 degrees in Kansas City. Here's a look at the front, and we've got strong southerly winds in advance of it, winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour, so it'll be a breezy day. And the front marches eastward by later on this evening, producing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and those storms do have the potential of producing some wind gusts. And the winds with the storm system previously, when it was moving through the Dakotas, we did see numerous reports of winds as high as 80 to 90 miles an hour. In fact, Minot, South Dakota, saw a wind gust of 94 miles an hour with some of these storms. So these storms here are nothing to mess around with once they do develop later on today. By tomorrow morning, though, this storm system will be knocking on the door in Rockford, Illinois, and pretty close to the Chicagoland area. That's a look at the Midwest. Now here's Marnie with more.
We have some PGA action going on this weekend, so let's take a look at the outlook. The in the area. Melissa.
Well, across the south, we are seeing problems here with showers and thunderstorms throughout Florida. Notice here we do have numerous lightning strikes, especially on the western shoreline. Take you in closer here. Tampa, you've been seeing quite a bit of rain in your neighborhood, and Sarasota County, there's already reports of 3 to 4 inches of rain that has fallen. Some locations today, by the time all the rain is over with, may have as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain, and of course that could induce some flooding problems. In fact, Sarasota County, you are under a urban flood advisory at this point in time, and that means that some of the roadways may be blocked due to high water, and you can see here the rain just continuing to pour in, and it's pretty much been expanding in coverage that we've been seeing all day long. Tampa, notice here the heaviest of the rain is now starting to pull off towards the east. Travel here along I-75 is just a mess, and it's going to continue to be that way throughout the rest of the day. In fact, take a look here in Tampa. Expect to see more wet weather. You've been seeing it all morning long. We've been seeing showers, and even through later on this evening, expect to see more showers and possibly very heavy rain with temperatures rising into the middle 80s. Flash flood watches are in effect, including the Tampa Bay area, stretching up northward towards Gainesville. This is in effect pretty much all day long. Temperatures, 77 right now in Tampa. We have 83 in Orlando, 82 in Atlanta. Nice day in Atlanta for you. Dallas, you're heating up at 91, and San Antonio is currently at 92. Dew points are running high right along the Gulf Coast and throughout Florida. We do have a front that's trying to push its way southward, and with the front pushing south. It's heading into some moist atmosphere. 97 is how it feels in Dallas, Texas, and 92 degrees in Houston. Here's our front, and it's going to continue to try to move its way southward later on today. That's a look at the south. Now here's Marnie with more. We'll check out the weather.
Je suis la jeune fille.
Yes, that's French they're speaking. And no, these children aren't French. They're American. And they've acquired their amazing new language skills from Muzzy, the remarkable new video language program for children developed by the British Broadcasting Corporation. With this unique BBC language course, children learn a second language with incredible ease. 4 delightful videos quickly become their favorite TV show and teaches children the same way they learned English. Learning another language becomes fun. You'll be amazed when your children begin speaking and understanding their new language from the very first day through this unique method.
Muzzy comes with 4 videos, 2 audio cassettes, a video script book, parent's guide, and is available in French, Spanish, Italian, or German. Order now. Receive this free bonus, a special vocabulary video that quickly adds hundreds of words to your child's language. Call the toll-free number on your screen. We'll ship and charge your credit card $28.17 a month for 6 months, plus a one-time shipping cost.
It's time for your vacation planner. Looking ahead all the way to January, we have a couple of possibilities for you, from skiing all the way to the land down under. The first stop we're going to make, though, is at Telluride, Colorado. In case you want to shush down the slopes, you're a ski enthusiast, well, you can't pick a much better area than Telluride, with average snowfall during the month of January up to 28 inches. Some great skiing conditions. As far as heading to the sun, well, you might want to consider Aruba in the Caribbean Sea, with average high temperatures during January well up into the 80s if you want to get away from all that cold and snow. Or perhaps you want to take a longer vacation, and it's summertime down under at this time of the year in January. Head all the way to Sydney. We're talking about temperatures in the upper 70s to the low 80s, perhaps a little rain. That's your vacation planner for January.
Welcome back. It's now 22 minutes past the hour. I'm Melissa Barrington alongside Marnie Stanier, and she'll have a look at your boat and beach report coming up in just a minute. But first, let's get you up to date on what's going on across the country. In the Northeast, it has been problems with massive flooding in Sussex County and also around Warren County, Morris County. We've been seeing reports over 10 inches of rain that has fallen in a very short amount of time. We have an upper level low that has been spinning here, and basically rain has not moved. Notice here how the rain is pivoting around our area of low pressure. Throughout northern New Jersey here, the rain has just been coming down in buckets. The thunderstorm cells are just sitting on top of the same counties over and over and over again, and they're just not budging. So basically, western New Jersey here is seeing a serious flooding situation here due to the heavy rain. And of course, don't be surprised if there are roads that are washed out, probably can't go down some roadways because of that. We have a dam that's overflowing in this region. So basically, in western New Jersey, it's a day to stay indoors and maybe play some games with your kids or watch some TV. Stay tuned here, of course, to the Weather Channel to get the latest updates on this region. But flash flood warnings are in effect, and be sure to check out the bottom of your screen for the very latest. Well, temperatures here are staying cool in the Northeast. I have no numbers here to show you at this time, but we'll get those for you. Otherwise, across the South, we've been seeing problems here in Florida, also with flooding conditions on the western shorelines here. We're seeing some heavy downpours from time to time, and we've also earlier this morning seen some reports of waterspouts. And in Sarasota County here, 3 to 4 inches of rain has already fallen. Right now we have 84 in Atlanta, 77 in Tampa. We have 95 degrees in San Antonio and 92 in New Orleans. In the Midwest, well, we've been seeing a bubble of high pressure across the Great Lakes that's been giving nice weather to Detroit, Chicago, and Indianapolis and St. Louis. But further to the north around Minneapolis, you've been seeing some clouds, and there's been some showers in your neighborhood. And this front that's going to be coming through will be producing some stronger storms later on this afternoon. We're already starting to see a line here starting to intensify throughout parts of northern Wisconsin. 76 in Green Bay, and we currently have 93 in Lincoln and 85 in Kansas City. In the western U.S., high pressure generally in control. A few sprinkles here overnight in parts of that is Arizona there for you. Otherwise, some showers around the Denver area. Temperatures here 75 in Denver, and we have 92 degrees in Las Vegas. That's a look around the country. Now here's Marnie with a look at your boat and beach update.